Everybody for tuning in to the nation. Let's get this thing going one way or another. Really appreciate everyone for being part of the mix. As we get this thing started, just really want to bring home to a lot of things that we got going on right now. So with that being said, appreciate everyone. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the content. I was going to do another show today, but I have some setbacks. So we're just going to go ahead and rock and roll with this right here. Thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the content. And I always listen to different people's opinions, points of views. It's always good to do that so that you can also have your mind together on certain topics and things like that. So what we're going to do is, this is what I normally do. This is like a review session. We're going to review what Colin Cowherd had to say about the Cowboys and their attitude towards this season, whether or not he's calling them dysfunctional and things like that. But we're going to just tune into this thing right here, and then we're going to go by a quick Q&A, and then we're going to talk about some other various things.
News, this is The Herd, wherever you may be.
The Herd, Colin Cowherd.
Listening
yes.
Live in Los Angeles, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports
Appreciate
Radio,
it.
and FS1. Joy Taylor is joining
I know a lot of people don't like him, but it is what it is, right?
And we got breaking news.
Lots of stuff.
All right, we got lots of breaking news. Let's start with the breaking news.
Talking about Dez Bryant.
Troubled wide receiver, little bit of a diva, still's got some talent. No question, good enough to be an NFL receiver. Not a 1, but on a good team, maybe a 2 or a 3. Has been signed to a 1-year deal by the New Orleans Saints.
1-year
who
deal,
are averaging, 30 a game. It's not like they needed him. You know who got Dez Bryant this job? Do you know who Dez Bryant should send a thank you note to? Josh Gordon of the New England Patriots.
No doubt, no doubt.
Josh Gordon comes with some baggage.
Now, you're trying to compare Josh Gordon to Dez Bryant as far as the off the field. But, Dez Bryant never had issues off the field. And also, Dez Bryant himself just had a downward slope. And one can argue it could be coaching staff. It could be, of course, the go-to punch would be the quarterback and things like that. Or just could be just bad luck. So with the injuries and things of that nature. But he goes on to, and most of you guys may have already seen this from earlier this morning, but this is just my quick review of everything.
Can be needy, high maintenance, but man, is he talented. And Sunday night, Josh Gordon and Tom Brady, the veteran quarterback, the established offense. Josh McDaniels, Brady, Josh Gordon and Tom Brady. Woo! That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Josh Gordon and Brady. AFC. Josh Gordon and Brady look pretty good. And this is a copycat league. That's all this league is.
Right,
this
true
league
that.
has always loved change. They like rule changes, coaching changes, player changes, legislation, PAT changes. But they do like to see somebody else do it first and succeed first. Russell Wilson, 5'11" quarterback. College numbers were amazing. Gets drafted, succeeds. Everybody's like, yeah, Johnny Manziel. Yeah, let's take that 5'11". Johnny Manziel doesn't get drafted.
Now, to Russell Wilson's defense, he's never been in the comparisons, and Johnny Manziel, they never been in comparisons of one another. So it's a little reach here. Johnny Manziel was picked up by the Browns because his upside was just so high. The guy won in Texas A&M. Well, what did he play for? Texas A&M, and he won on that level on that particular football field. And what they're trying to do is to compare that to those two things together, and I just don't see it. But let's go ahead.
Drafted in the first round, if not for Russell Wilson. Philadelphia Eagles do a bunch of free agent moves in the offseason, win a Super Bowl. And then Jay Glazer told us now everybody in the league wants to do it because, the Eagles did it. Now everybody's trading like crazy in the season and making moves in the season and free agents and trades during the season. Didn't used to do that. Sean McVay gets a job with the L.A. Rams. He's like 32 years old. He just got his driver's license. And now everybody wants to hire. Oh, Matt Nagy gets a job. And Kyle Shanahan gets a job. The other day they're talking about Lincoln Riley coaching the Dallas Cowboys. Lincoln Riley didn't even get a phone call 5 years ago. Sean McVay is the gateway to all the young coaches. How about, remember, you couldn't draft a running back in the first round, and the Cowboys got Ezekiel Elliott at number 4 for the Cowboys, and he leads the NFL in rushing. And he gets Saquon Barkley drafted at number 2.
Let's pump the brakes right here. The opening for that was Todd Gurley, actually. You guys remember when Todd Gurley was drafted? He was picked up early in the draft for the Rams or what have you, and he showed up and showed out. And I think that Todd Gurley got injured his second year or something like that, or had a downward slope. But Todd Gurley pretty much opened up everything, and people saw that, hey, you can still draft a running back in the first few rounds or what the first round or what have you. So Todd Gurley was the guy that opened up everything. But I can see the analogy. I can see the comparison of, hey, Cowboys went out and drafted Ezekiel Elliott. Now the Giants went and drafted Saquon Barkley. We can see that.
A couple years ago, it was like, you can't draft a running back in the first round. Cowboys do it. Boom, hits a home run. And now the New York Giants pass on quarterbacks to get one. This is all about Josh Gordon. I mean, Dez Bryant is no better today than he was 3 months ago. He's not any better today than 3 months ago. Hey, by the way, the Saints don't even need him. Just like the Patriots got to a Super Bowl without Julian Edelman. Just like the Patriots have gotten to a Super Bowl without...
Now, I heard Jane Slater earlier today on 105.3 The Fan around 4 or 5 o'clock after this video here. She was saying that what happened with Dez Bryant, that the Saints actually reached out to him earlier in the season or what have you before the season started. And Dez Bryant actually turned down a lot of deals. He didn't go for the first bidder. So Dez Bryant himself was like, I'm not ready. I'm not prepared to really play right now. And Dez Bryant was really hurt about the Cowboys releasing him and things like that. And revenge was only on his mind, signing with the NFC East team. You guys remember that, right? He was talking about, and thank God, thank God, he probably was thanking God that he didn't go to the New York Giants. But he was saying that he wanted to go to the NFC East, and I think that nobody really gave him an offer that was worthy for him. And we do know that he had a 3-year deal, was it 1-year deal, something like that for the Ravens. You guys can put that in the chat box, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Don't forget to hit that share button, like the content, and subscribe to the channel, people.
Patriots won the AFC. Gronk was hurt and Edelman was out. But when you watch the Patriots Sunday and you watch Josh Gordon and Tom Brady, let's be honest. You sat there if you were a Steelers fan. You sat there if you were a Chiefs fan. If you're a Chargers fan. If you're a Texans fan, you're like, damn. This Brady Josh Gordon thing, Tom's got a deep threat. Tom's got his first deep threat since Randy Moss. And I think Drew Brees is looking there. And they're watching Sunday night. And I think because they just beaten the Rams, they go out to dinner, they come home, and they watch Brady and Josh Gordon. And they don't need him. And Josh Gordon, the Patriots didn't have to have him. But, man, Josh Gordon gives you that little icing. It tastes a little better. And if that's how he got picked up, that's the difference. Sean Payton and Drew Brees watch Tom Brady and Belichick get Gordon. Every week he's better. And they're thinking to themselves, you know what? 8 weeks from now, we're hosting Philadelphia in a playoff game. We're hosting Carolina in a playoff game. We're hosting the Packers or Minnesota in a playoff game. We're hosting the Rams in a playoff game. And it's a tie game late. Can Dez make a 38-yard catch to get us in the red zone with 3 minutes left? Darn right he can. Darn right he can.
No doubt.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
Let's shift gears to yesterday. A story that broke when we were on the air.
This is what we want to talk about, right?
And I do think, by the way, Dez is going to work. I don't think he's going to be a superstar. I don't think he'll probably be quite as good as Josh Gordon in New England, but he'll be something. They've already got, Mike Thomas. They already got 2 backs. They got Breeze. They have a great O-line. He'll be something. He'll be a catch a game. He'll be a 28-yard catch a game. He'll be...
You know what? About the Saints, shout out to the Saints. The thing that people got to realize with the Saints, although they're looking good right now, they're 8-1, 7-1, or if we're going to be 8-1, whoever they play this weekend, I think the Saints are going to beat that team. This is the thing. Although we marvel at what they're doing offensively, and it's a nice thing, but what have to scare the Saints fans is the defense. That defense. They got to step that defense up if you want to make it to the Super Bowl. You got to step that defense up. Teams like the Patriots, they're balanced, man. They don't allow a lot of points to be scored on them, and the Patriots figure out ways to manipulate their team out there, manipulate the opposition, and score. And there's something special about the Patriots. It's just how the Patriot way is. But we will see whether or not it will be the Patriots versus Saints. I heard a lot of people saying that. Even though we marvel at the Kansas City Chiefs, they got to fix up their defense. Defense wins Super Bowls, defense wins championships, but their offense is just lighting it up. L.A. Rams, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Patriots, the Saints, and one can argue the fact that this year, of course, the Panthers got to give my shout out to them, as well as the Vikings. Their teams are still up there with offense, but the defense, I think, of the believe it or not, the Patriots, not the Patriots, but the Patriots still defense up there, but the Panthers defense is still nasty a little bit. So we will see though, and then of course you can talk about the Vikings, but they streaky in a sense, and they had a lot of injuries. But it may be another team that can get hot towards the latter part of the year. We still got a lot of games left, but we will see.
Something. So yesterday, Troy Aikman used two words, and they're big words, and they're powerful words. Powerful. And they got everybody talking, these words did. Because Troy Aikman must have said 200 words, but there were two words he said. One was dysfunction, one was overhaul, that got everybody's attention. Let's start with the first thing he said yesterday about the Cowboys, dysfunction.
I talk to people. Who have been inside the building and have a pretty good understanding of how things are run. And in a lot of ways, there's a lot of dysfunction. And that has to change if this team is going to be able to compete on a consistent basis like the teams that you look to around the league that seemingly are in the hunt each and every year.
So let's talk about the word dysfunction. That lands big in Dallas. That's a talk in Dallas yesterday. That was a talk around the country yesterday. Troy Aikman doesn't talk like that about the Cowboys much. Dysfunction. Is he right about that? Yes. We have seen over the last 100 years in this country, wealthy families, the DuPonts, the Kennedys, the Rockefellers, the Hearst family, the Trumps. Wealth creates power and leverage, and it creates celebrities and stars and entitlement, and it creates some dysfunction.
It does.
I told Joy this yesterday. The Lakers, Real Madrid, Manchester United, New York Giants, New York Yankees, FIFA, the soccer organization, IOC, the Olympic Committee, Dallas Cowboys, New York Knicks. When you are that big and there's so much money involved, you start making decisions for money. A couple years ago, the Lakers signed Kobe Bryant to a massive contract. Why? Because their broadcasting partner, Time Warner, said, we're not signing a deal unless you sign Kobe. And so the Lakers made a move for Time Warner.
Yeah, I heard out there too when Jerry Jones was trying to get the stadium financed and he was trying to get the stadium built. The investors were like, "You guys are horrible at this point. What can we build off of? What kind of hope? What kind of promise you can set forward for us?" And that's when he said, "You know what? I can go out there and I can grab Bill Parcells." Now, that was a story that was released in those articles, or maybe I can find it and I can put it out there. But this guy right here that's behind me, he's speaking a lot of volumes. There's a lot of volumes in here when you're talking about money. Money. They say the love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money. That's in a passage, a good Bible passage, right? But if you continue to read a little bit further down the line, it says money answereth all things. So when you have those money, when you have those deep pockets, you can make some things happen. And my thing is, my biggest reservation with Jerry Jones, there's no salary cap when it comes to coaching. Now, if you say to everybody in Cowboys Nation, if you want to be the best, of course, Jerry Jones have to reach into his pocket and go out there and get the best. I'm talking about coaching. We can understand and we can have our reservations on the players, with the development of players and things that we have out there. But one thing I can say for sure, that Jerry Jones got enough money to go out there and get the resources to help elevate this team. And I'm talking about coaching. But right now, Jerry, when we talk about the overall word, the function aspect of it, Jason Garrett is a cool guy. Nobody can say that they talk to Jason Garrett and they have a bad vibe from him. No one, even current and past players. But what they can say, he's a good guy. Good guys finish, or nice guys finish last, right? He's Tony. What is it? Tony Dungy, very soft-spoken, quiet, good guy. But it's something different by Tony Dungy, right? He's just a mastery of a mind of a guy out there. And he can coach and elevate his team. We have yet to see that from Jason Garrett. It's a known product out there on the field when we see Jason Garrett and his system. Sometimes your system can be wonderful on paper, but when it gets out there, when it's time for everything to come due, then you'll say to yourself, man, this system is just not working. Regardless of whether or not you have a quarterback that can pass the ball through a keyhole, who can actually throw the ball accurate and this sort of things, it still was not able to work. And that's what we call Jason Garrett's system, or we can talk about 10 years before Jason Garrett got here, and we can still talk about what Jerry Jones was trying to do with the resources that he had. Now, what I can say, like I said before, but I hit play again, Jerry Jones could reach into his pocket and just pay any coach that he want. There's no salary cap when it comes to coaching. That's all I have to say. And especially with your skill sets, like the Kellen Moores of the world, he can really go out and name himself one of the best quarterback coachings out there to help elevate this team. Or he can get one of the best offensive line coaching out there if you really want to. There's no salary cap when it comes to coaching.
Not ready for the team to appease a broadcaster. For the record, years ago, the Yes Network had the Yankees games, and they said sign A-Rod, big contract.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a lot of money. I mean, you want a deal with us? You want your games on Yes Network? Make sure you sign A-Rod. So when you're a rich family, the DuPonts, when you're a rich organization, Real Madrid, these Manchester United, Dallas Cowboys, New York Yankees, there is so much money and so much wealth that decisions are often made not just about wins and losses. So I think Troy Aikman's comment on dysfunction is accurate. It's fair. There's some of it. And I would say you see more of it than you do less at the very top. The second word Troy Aikman used, let's overhaul.
The second word,
that's another
overhaul.
big word.
Okay, good.
This team over a long period of time has been what it's been. And it hasn't always mattered who the head coach has been. And so to me, if you're asking me, I'd say there has to be a complete overhaul of the entire organization. You just can't simply replace head coaches and say, now it's going to be better. No, it's been shown that it's not better.
Now, that's where I disagree. The Chicago Bears made one move. Trubisky played for John Fox. Trubisky now with Matt Nagy. One move. It changed everything. 13 points more a game. Sean McVay replaces Jeff Fisher. Now, they did get a left tackle, and they grabbed Robert Woods, a wide receiver.
True that.
But they made one huge move. Jeff Fisher, defensive guy. Sean McVay, offensive guy. By the way, the Philadelphia Eagles, they had Chip Kelly. They brought in Doug Peterson. And it kind of changed everything. This is a...
But the problem is what I guess Colin has failed to realize is that even though you make that one move, even though you change that piece out, you still have to account for Jerry Jones being into the coaching meeting, Jerry Jones speaking into the press conference when you have a guy that's having a twisted up ankle, and whether or not the coaching want to reserve that until Wednesday, but Jerry Jones have a talk show on Tuesday, and Jerry Jones get out there and say, you know what, such and such got a twisted ankle and he won't be playing, and it's Tuesday. You see, that gives the opposition an extra day to prepare for said player. So Jerry Jones will always have his hands into the mix. And trust me, I love Jerry Jones, the billionaire that he is. And it is what it is. But we can look at other teams and say they moved out this and they moved out that. But I do understand what he's saying collectively. Collectively.
Quarterback coach league. Don't kid yourself. Coaches matter. Never forget the 4 teams in college football that are 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, Brian Kelly, and Jim Harbaugh. All 4 of those programs, before those coaches got there, those huge brands were a mess.
Yeah,
Bama was a mess. Clemson was a mess. Michigan was a mess. And Notre Dame was a mess. I don't believe the Cowboys need an overhaul. I think they need a new coach. And I think they probably have to draft another quarterback. But let me tell you why I don't think it's an overhaul. They have cap space.
They do. $75 million or something like that.
Athletic, aggressive, talented front 7. Very few in the league better than them. It's a passing league. They now have a #1 receiver.
True
You
that.
need a star running back, too. That helps. They got one of those. They also have an elite left tackle. And their offensive line's not as good as it was years ago. It's still top 8, top 10.
Get Travis Frederick back in here, yeah.
I agree with a dysfunction, which I think is unavoidable in wealthy families and in mega brands. I just think it's unavoidable. That much money creates dysfunction. But I don't think the Cowboys need an overhaul. I think what the Cowboys need is a fresh leader at the top. And I do think you got one more year of Dak, the rest of this year and next year, you should draft another quarterback. You should draft another quarterback.
All right, that's a good topic from here from Colin Cowherd. He was talking about, they should draft another quarterback. I'm with the belief that every year you draft a quarterback at this point until you hit home. I think the Packers did it at one point. The Patriots did it even when they had Tom Brady back there. They still continued to draft the quarterback. Apply the pressure till you get comfortable with the quarterback that you got. And right now, I think Jerry Jones saying that he's going to go along with Dak Prescott, which is cool. You give the guy, he only been playing in the NFL for 2.5 years now. So hopefully they can figure out something. And then if you bring in another coach, maybe that particular coach can say, I can work with this guy. Or maybe that particular coach say, hey, I can't. Jim Harbaugh, Jerry Jones. This is from Chappelle Hannon. Thank you for tuning in. Just going to be a quick Q&A. Shout out to those who joining me on the YouTube page. K-Do, appreciate you. Gerard Head, 92. Jamal Anderson, yes, we live like 95. Money Making Mall, appreciate you. Josh Skinner, the winner, the fourth place person that's in this chat box. And I'm going to jump over to my Facebook page. Appreciate you, Alan Crossan. Who else we have here? Appreciate everybody. Les Holmes, thank you for tuning in. Jay Riss and Dro Gracia, appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in to the nation. It's always a pleasure. It's always a plus for talking to you guys about the Cowboys and beyond. Kerry Teagle, my brother from another mother. Hey, guys, this team can get in the right direction. They just have to formulate their mind and push this thing around. Now, what I'm saying is about this team collectively. What can they do in order to get things going? I saw and I looked at tons of tape. I'm going to have to push this tape out until tomorrow. I thought I was going to be able to have my original deal wide open today, but they're going to give me one more day. So tomorrow I will bring out and show you film on La'el Collins playing guard. And it is a beautiful piece. La'el Collins vertically moving up the field, playing guard and pulling. I'm telling you, the guy's like a freight train on wheels, man. Well, with legs, I meant to say. And he can't get the opening space out there. You put La'el Collins, and to the left of him, you have a big number 77. It will be nasty. But I've heard through the grapevine, and I heard through training, through practice today and all this week that they're going otherwise. They're going a different route or what have you. And it is what it is, guys. All right, let me just do a quick Q&A for those who are in here. Let me see. I'll try to get to your questionings here. Shout out to Nick Blue. What you got over here? What you got? Appreciate you for tuning in. Ninja Nuts, thank you for tuning in. Nick Blue said, boycott the Cowboys. I mean, it could be possible, but we addicted to this thing. You know how that thing go, right? Daniel Mazza, what's up, man? Sup, Law? Can we catch the replay of the game? Where can I catch the replay of the game? I will try to put it down in the Patreon. I just gonna have to put that game. It's gonna be like 30 minutes, 40 minutes long, and you can go there. Mike, appreciate you. He says he loved my breakdown, brother. Appreciate you, man. Salute to you and your whole entire family. Sam, same crap. What is it? Chop, same crap with Romo. It is what it is, man. Jason Garrett has to go. This is from Chappelle Hannon. I feel you, man. It is what it is. Keith Larkin, what you got over here on the on the Facebook? He said he's real. Keep in mind, I hope Dez kills it. He's talking about Dez Bryant. We can only hope, and this is the thing. People got my message wrong from what I put down earlier today. I want the best for Desmond Bryant. My only thing is I bleed silver and blue. But when he plays against the Cowboys, there's no way in life I can root for the opposition. I always root for the Cowboys to win. Win, lose, or draw, I'm silver and blue to the day I die, from the cradle to the grave. You guys already know how this thing go. Now, granted, Dez Bryant going to the Super Bowl and we're not there, Cowboys Nation, we're not there, cool. Salute to him. Just like DeMarcus Ware, just like when I guess DeMarco Murray went to play for the Shegels, the Filthy, whatever you want to call him. When he went to play for them, I wasn't out there saying, man, the Cowboys did him wrong. Now we got a guy that's still in drawers and underwear and stuff like that, and we should have paid the man, and we could have had him in 2015. But neither here nor there. That water then went under the bridge, and now everybody forgot about DeMarco Murray. Well, some people forgot about DeMarco Murray. You know how it goes, right? But it is what it is. Collectively, this team, if you want to say dysfunctional, I can give you that. It's been over 20 years, 2 playoff wins. That's a bad resume, and bad in a bad way, right? And also, if you want to say, do they handle things with player personnel right? It's a business game. And by us being the America's team, by us being on every news media outlet, anything that we do is magnified times 10. But we don't look at other teams that do something similar. It gets swept up under the rug, But Cowboys Nation, we got a lot of things to do. Also, tomorrow and Friday and beyond, we're going to be talking about Filthy. We're going to figure out a way. I always say this. And last week was like the first game we really got blown out on, right? One can argue this, the Panthers, but we was into the mix on that game. This team normally, even in 2015 when we had a horrible year, I think we only won 4 games, 4-12 or something like that, or 4-12 or 3-13, whatever the record was in 2015. We was in every game basically. And this team has a fighter's mentality, and you still have a puncher's chance or a fighter's chance to win games. But what I'm saying is that this team, although we've been 8-8, 8-8, and 8-8, and all this stuff with Jason Garrett behind the wheels here, I think that I agree wholeheartedly with Colin Cowherd. We know Jerry Jones not going anywhere, but if we can figure out a way down the line to insert a different coach, maybe we can see something different. Or if we can just have Jason Garrett just to call the plays. I looked back at 2009. I was on Voch Lombardi's live stream earlier, and I was talking about the fact that in 2009, 2010, I think in 2011, when Jason Garrett was calling the plays, you can't clap when you're calling the plays. He's too busy looking down and saying, well, what the next play is going to be. We'll see more of a pattern in a good way when Jason Garrett calls the play as opposed to a Scott Linehan. I can tell you that. But that's all the time I have for this beautiful night. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in to the nation. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the content, subscribe it up, join the notification squad, and share. That help the nation out all the way. I really appreciate. Don't forget, if you're on the Facebook panel, I would try to answer or read all your comments. And if you're on the YouTube, hang back, fold back, and drop back, when the stream is over with, I can still answer your questions. Just keep this thing going, and as I get ready to settle in, and let's get this thing going one way or another. Let's beat Filthy. I know it seems like it's far. We like the Grand Canyon amongst each other, right? You can put the Grand Canyon between these two teams, but their records is really not that far apart from us collectively, and we already know what the Redskins going to do, right? They're not going to just win on out. So this NFC East is still formidable. It still can happen. Believe it or not, even at 3-5, we have a chance, right? It is what it is, right? Peace, man. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the nation. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I see you, Incognito. Thank you for regulating down there. Miss Jackie, Slot Skins, everybody that's my mods. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget, guys, follow the mods too. Y'all see them with the little blue icon that's on my YouTube page. Salute. Yeah. Let's grow this thing, baby. Still gonna dive into some film later on tonight. Got a lot of stuff to do. gonna get this thing going. It is what it is, baby. Let's roll with it. Romero, what's up, Walker? I see you over there, man. Shout out to you. Nick Blue. Daniel Mazza. We out of here. Stevie Mac. I'm gonna bust out that hand this weekend, though. All day. Every day. Salute.